What is up, guys? Welcome back to our channel and welcome to today's football preview video. It is almost time for a short international break, but before that, please join me as I talk just a little bit about the fixture that is kicking off this weekend on Saturday, the 4th of October in the English Premier League at Stamford Bridge that sees Chelsea host defending Premier League champions Liverpool. We start off today's video here with the home side being Chelsea. Now, the last 5 fixtures for the Blues have ended in 2 wins and then 3 losses. It's been a bit of a stop and go start domestically for Chelsea. They've been very good in the Champions League, and their last fixture was a 1-0 win at home against Benfica in the Champions League. So, some work to do at home, but in terms of on the European stage, very good stuff. The first player that I think will be crucial to an improvement this season has got to be Brazilian centre forward João Pedro. In 8 appearances, João Pedro has 2 goals and 3 assists. And when I look at him, I see the target man at Chelsea, a player who is quick, who is direct, and who will be looking to inject a bit of that Brazilian attacking flair into the Blues game. Keeping things controlled in the midfield, I want to talk about Argentine central midfielder Enzo Fernandez. In 9 appearances, Enzo has 3 goals and 1 assist. And when I look at him, I see Chelsea's box-to-box midfielder. Enzo Fernandez has tons of stamina. He's a great utility player, but he's also the workhorse at Chelsea, always doing that extra bit of running for his teammates. Defensively for the Blues, I want to talk about Ecuadorian defensive midfielder Moises Caicedo. In 8 appearances, Caicedo has 2 goals, and when I look at him, I see the destroyer in midfield for Chelsea. Moises Caicedo is physical, he's aggressive, and he's the player who does all of those dirty jobs on the pitch for Chelsea in terms of winning back possession. Tactically for the Blues, coach Enzo Maresca will want his team to attack on the counter. To that end, I think we have seen Chelsea line up in that 4-2-3-1 formation most of the time this season. The Blues have tons of pace in the attacking third, and that is balanced out by a very hard-working central midfield and then physical and solid defenders in the heart of the defense. Everybody in this team has so much energy, and all of them are able to press high up on that pitch and then counter-attack very quickly as well. Looking at the away team here for Liverpool, the last 5 fixtures for the Reds have ended in 3 wins and 2 losses. Liverpool fans might be a little concerned with those back-to-back losses after the team did lose against Crystal Palace in the Premier League and then lost away at Galatasaray in the Champions League earlier this week. I think Liverpool have the talent to turn it around, and the first player who I think will be crucial to that has got to be French centre forward Hugo Ekitike. In 9 appearances, Hugo Ekitike has 5 goals and 1 assist, and he is Liverpool's target man. He's built up some very good chemistry with his teammates already. He plays a very fluid attacking style of football, and he's always just looking to carry that ball directly to the opposition goalpost. Creating some of the chances for this team in midfield, I want to talk about Hungarian attacking midfielder Dominik Szoboszlai. In 9 appearances, Szoboszlai has 1 goal and 2 assists, and when I look at him, I see Liverpool's midfield playmaker. Szoboszlai has the passing and dribbling ability to unlock defenses, and he will be key to this team in terms of providing some creativity in the midfield. Defensively for Liverpool, I want to talk about Dutch centre-back Virgil van Dijk. In 9 appearances, Van Dijk has 1 goal, but he is the defensive leader at Liverpool. Van Dijk is strong, he's physical, he's disciplined, and he's that perfect captain who knows how to get the most out of all of his players. In terms of tactics for the Reds, Coach Arne Slot wants his team to play on the counter-attack almost all the time. To that end, I think we have seen Liverpool lining up in their classic 4-2-3-1 formation most of the time this season. The Reds have tons of pace out wide. They've got creativity everywhere in the final third. They play with a dynamic number 10 player in that hole now in Dominik Szoboszlai, but they do have other players who can also come off the bench and give them an option to play through the center. This means that Liverpool provide a threat to any team from pretty much any angle on the pitch. Okay, on to the head-to-head and our verdict. Now, the last five editions of this fixture have ended in one win for Chelsea, three wins for Liverpool, and then one draw separating the two teams. In terms of goal output in those last five fixtures, Liverpool have scored 9 goals, while Chelsea have hit the back of the net 6 times. So, in both metrics, we can see that Liverpool are doing slightly better in recent years. In terms of the league table right now, Liverpool are first on 15 points, while Chelsea are eighth on 8 points. So there too, the Reds have already started the season on a high and they're looking to continue this for as long as possible. In terms of absences for the Reds, Liverpool look fairly fit, but I think they did pick up some concerns against Galatasaray, mainly Ekitike and goalkeeper Alisson. But I think Ekitike is just so crucial to this team that I could not leave him out in terms of our important players. For the Blues, they also have some issues. Obviously, Chaloba will be missing this match due to his red card. Wesley Fofana is still injured as well. But I think the biggest loss for Chelsea here has got to be Cole Palmer. This player brings so much to this team. They were hoping that he could turn out for Benfica, but it seems like he hasn't recovered in time for this fixture. Both teams like to play on the counter attack. Both teams have pace in abundance up front, and both teams have creativity in their midfield. I think for too long, Chelsea's midfield has been overlooked, and they do have some really quality players in the center of the pitch. Liverpool, in their own right as well, with the front line picking up all of the headlines for so long, their midfield has just been ignored. But now they have newer, fresher players, players like Sobozalai and McAllister, who can control the game for the Reds if the need arises. I think this season, Liverpool have been far more consistent. They'll want to remain top of the table going into this break, but they have Arsenal hot on their heels, just 2 points behind them. If the two teams go equal on points, I think that does then put Liverpool under pressure, but I think they'll go out here and they'll want to pick up all 3 points in this fixture against Chelsea. I think Arne Slot has a little bit more squad depth at his disposal, but I think right now we have to take into consideration that Liverpool have struggled at Stamford Bridge in the last few seasons. It's not been a pleasant stadium for them to travel to, and Chelsea have been fairly strong at their home stadium against Liverpool. I think, yes, this season Liverpool are looking a lot stronger than Chelsea, but Chelsea have finally come up and they finally started living up to the potential that they've had for all of these seasons. In midfield for the Blues, they also have some real game changers. And I think a player like Enzo Fernandez in particular can do so much for this team. Whereas Liverpool are divided into players who simply attack and other players who defend, I think Chelsea have players who can do a little bit of both. And a player like Enzo Fernandez can pop up anywhere on that pitch and either do some defensive duties or he can just pick that ball up and then look to play somebody on the counter. And I think that's the difference here, is that Chelsea have a midfield that functions more as a midfield, whereas Liverpool have a midfield that functions either as extra defenders or extra attackers. Either way, I think we're in for a fantastic game of football here. I think it's going to be end-to-end, high-octane, high-energy stuff from two teams that definitely want to win. I think though both teams did pick up knocks in the week. They're both limping after those Champions League fixtures. It was a 1-0 win for Chelsea and a 1-0 loss for Liverpool, but they really had to fight in those fixtures. Benfica and Galatasaray were not easy competition for both of these teams, and I think it just shows that right now, world football is not as cut and dry as it usually is. Nevertheless, I think a draw is very likely here, and I think a draw is what we're actually going to get. I think both teams have the hunger, the desire, and the determination to win, but I think both teams will also not want to lose, and that will be the priority here. Conserving energy, making sure your players don't pick up injuries, going into this break on the front foot, and I think they've done splendidly so far. My score prediction for this one is going to be Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1.